Good evening, everybody. So a bunch of you have asked me what on earth it is I've actually been doing over the last couple of months. You guys have seen the posts and the pictures, little videos here and there, but some of you have been a little unclear as to what exactly I am doing. So first of all, there's a game called DCS World, and it allows you to, it's basically a flight simulator, allows you to fly various types of aircraft. My favorite being the A10. Right now I'm on the C2 model, and what I have been building is basically a near one-to-one replica of the cockpit. So with this game, there's third-party software that allows me to bridge the gap essentially between the physical world and the game itself. And so all of these buttons and switches are able to translate. So when you look in the game itself, you could see this cockpit here, all the buttons and gauges. Well, all of these are able to be translated into real life. I can get data from the game and I can send data back to the game. So that's what I've been working on. And so what I was going to do today is kind of go through what they call a cold start. Basically, this aircraft is completely shut down, batteries are off, and just kind of walk through what it is I do. Now, obviously, you can see there's some gaps, there's some panels that aren't real panels yet. There's even some that just plain don't work yet. I haven't plugged them in or haven't finished engineering them. So I'll do the best I can. There are still going to be some things on the screen that I have to click, but I'm going to get there. As you can see, I've got some flood lighting that I've just recently installed. This is going to be kind of give you an idea of what things are going to look like. The panels, almost all of the panels are going to be backlit. They are on a dimmer circuit, so I can control that separately from the game. Same with the flood lighting. The real aircraft does have that stuff. This is just allows me to do that instead of in the game. I can do it in real life. So anywho, we have our handy dandy checklist here, and so let's go through the cold start. So we'll start by turning on the batteries, engaging the inverter. On the screen, I'm going to engage the radios. 133 is the frequency for the airfield I am on. I'm going to uncage my ADI. Kind of, maybe. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. There it goes. Haven't quite figured that one out yet. Anyway. Restart the G-force meter. Good. And we are going to now test our safety systems. Bleed air test. Good. And we are ready for system startup. So hack the clock and APU start. So the APU, in case you don't know, is basically a small third jet engine that provides power to the rest of the aircraft while the main engines are offline. It also provides extra power to get the engine started. So right now I'm watching these two gauges right here, waiting for the main RPMs to get up to 100%, which it now has. Now I can engage the APU generator. It's now sending AC power to the rest of the aircraft. Get the computers started. CDU, IGE, IFC jitters, and KICU. Turn on my MFDs. Get the bit test started on the IFC. So this screen right here, this panel is called the CDU. It's basically the navigation system for the aircraft. I'm not looking forward to building this one because of how many buttons there are. Right now I'm waiting for it to do its bit test, and then I'm going to start aligning the GPS navigation system. Once that finishes, then I will start the main engines. Good, INS, alt align, and fast align. So there we go. start loading that information, and we are ready for main engine test. So I'll start motoring engine 1. APU is loaded up. Getting engine start on engine 1 should get up to about 27%. Once it does, there it goes, throttle to idle. And it is powering up. Rehack the clock. Once it gets to 60%, I'll have 10 seconds for the start light to turn off, and that would indicate a good start. So 60%, so I'm looking for 25 on the clock. And good start on 2. That was 24 seconds. So we will now motor engine 2. APU load up. 10%, 20%, and 27%. Throttle to idle. Powering up. Technically, I'm supposed to be doing some like flap and system checks and whatever during the course of these to make sure the different hydraulic generators and whatnot is working, but honestly, it's a pain in the butt. And all right, 10 seconds, so looking for 25 again. It's like, why? It's never actually going to fail the test. Perfect. Clear that. All right, see how our aligning process is going. So navigation system is aligned, so we'll go to nav mode. Switch to flight plan. Iggy and steer point for that. EAC, radar altimeter. Those are good to go. IFC's ready, so now my main HUD is up and running. So we've got kind of a basic setup of weapons. All right, once again, another lamp test. Good. Normally, in the real aircraft, you should wait 2 minutes before powering down the APU, but I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Anti-skid on, taxi lights. These are switches that I have, but I just haven't plugged them in yet. Position flash forward. So now get our yaw and pitch SAS systems. And once I arm the ejection seat, we are ready to go. So for some reason, I have a canopy switch, but it doesn't like actually work. I'm not really sure why, but it is what it is. So for now, I have to click it close. That's been a known problem since the last update on this game. Not really sure. Not really sure what's going on, but there it is. Canopy's now closed. Now we got steering, nose wheel steering on, and we are ready to taxi. Basically, I'll take you through a takeoff, maybe screw around with the external sensors a little bit just to kind of show you how this works. Do I even have external sensors? No, I do not. Never mind. Oh yeah, lightning pod, there it is. Because some of you were wondering if this stuff actually works, and it does. So I'm gonna get the targeting pod fired up, weapon systems online. It's in ground safe mode since I'm on the ground, but that's okay. Hover, function steer mode. Now I can see my ground speed while in steer mode. Kind of hauling ass a little bit because I have to take off from the far end of this runway. They can't make it easy on us for these games. They want to make us taxi for 15 minutes. Anybody got time for that, right? So all of this that you see here, as far as the displays go, this is actually a computer screen. It's a 27-inch monitor that sits behind this panel, and everything's been kind of aligned. I have a program that lets me basically place all these gauges wherever I want. Little by little, I've been getting some of this stuff online. I still have to do the covers for those panels right there. I just did these ones today. They were actually kind of a pain in the butt. I also did these two knobs today, but for some reason that one doesn't want to work. So I don't really use this knob, so I just put that program, or the program for that one, onto that one. So it's not correct, but it'll do the job. At least until I can figure out why the dial isn't working. Okay, hold short of the runway. Got a few things I gotta do. Change out my external systems. I don't know why that's being jerk. All right, collision, pitot heat. Here, change my flat position. There it is. That actually is a real gauge. It's not a simulator, not a computer screen. Up to landing lights, and let's request permission to take off. Alright, once again, anti-skid landing lights. I've got 3 green, no caution lights, flaps are down, ejection seat is armed. Alright, let's see if I can figure out how to do this one-handed again. Steering wheel off, no steering I should say. 102, 120, and 130 start to rotate. And we are up. Gear up, flaps up. So there we are, we're in the air. It's really difficult flying one-handed, especially with a cross breeze. So let me get into a position, set my my autopilot, and I'll show you some of the systems real quick before I end the video. All right, autopilot. So I've got my targeting pod right here. Oops, screwed that up. All right, so targeting pod. So basically this lets me look around. It's hard to really see it. It's a two-handed operation, so I can't really zoom very well, but it lets me look at things. I can lock onto targets. I can go over here, choose whatever weapons I want to use that to deploy them. It's got different modes: white hot, black hot, or that's white hot, that's black hot, and then regular camera mode. The camera mode's kind of garbage, but the thermals work well. So anywho, that's how it is. That's how I fire up the aircraft and take off, and I think that'll do it. So thanks for watching.